it's Nancy, and we're back to do another Autumn Country Diary project today. So grab page 158 and page 131. We'll get started. Okay. Where's my glue? So we'll start with page 158. I don't like this woodpecker. I will not be using this woodpecker. On the back is text. So I've got a piece of tea-dyed paper, copy paper, you know, ordinary paper you'd get out of for your printer. So I am going to completely cover Mr. Woodpecker with my glue stick. And just pop him right there. Okay. And just to keep things nice and tidy, I will I'll just cut off the paper. Okay. Now on this side, I want to not cover the text, but just make it recede a little bit. So the way I'm going to do that is to grab some tea-dyed I think this is onion skin or typing paper or something like that. But I want to just tear it up into some chunks. I've got some other pieces that are smaller and slightly different color. I'm just going to tear one edge because I can put the square edge up against the edge of the paper. Don't want to waste anything. Probably would have been faster to tear that by hand, but there you go. What a day. I've been watching this program on YouTube, an art program called Perspective. It's a British show. I guess I'll put it here. And I'm really enjoying it because the host, he travels all over the place, and there's lots of history, and it's just really interesting. So I've been binging that for the last couple of days. And the one I was just watching was about Islamic art. But I've also seen Baroque, Renaissance, just the full gamut. I don't need that much. I'll just... So one of the interesting things about this project is we're going to not only do this little junk journal element, but we will have started the next one too, because we'll be using the leftover pieces to make the next project. I'm taking my time to make sure that I get the darkest side of the paper facing up. I find that if I put the paper out in the sun, in the direct sun, it gets a lot darker. I don't know if that's been your experience too, but that's what I've noticed. You get a real rich color. So I'm thinking this one got done in the sunshine, this one not so much. Been on the phone all morning trying to get in to see my grandmother. So many restrictions and nobody knows what they're doing. Oh well. It looks like I'll be able to go tomorrow. If I really pushed it, I could probably go today, but I don't want to get too much more uglier than I've already been with everybody. Looking to see if I have another dark piece I can put on here. See what's handy. Lay down, you. Okay. Done, done, done. Now, while I've got this flat, grab my ink. And where there's edges, I'll go over with my ink just to sort of give that some definition. I won't do the edges because there's going to be some cutting, so I will ink the edges when when that cutting is done. But I'll do this inking now because I won't miss anything, right? was a chilly night. Good for sleeping, but there was a frost warning. I don't think we actually had frost. I didn't see any frost. Okay. So now I'm just going to slightly square up the top. So I'm just taking a fraction of an inch off, like 1/32 of an inch. And then I will go, let's say 6 inches. And then I will square up these edges. And you might get a different measurement than me because maybe you had to trim off more from the margin side, or I don't know. So this is sort of almost square, but not square. It's 6 3/4. So next on the agenda, I want to fold this in half. So I'll use, I mean, you could fold it yourself and it'll be fine, but I'm going to use my scoreboard here. So I said it was 6 3/4, so I want 3 3/8. Not bad. Not bad at all. There we go. All right. So I will unfold that. Now I'm going to, this is the front of the little booklet. So I'm going to trim off 1 inch of the front cover. So I'm putting this at 5. And then I will look for scissors. Oh, they're there. Trim that off. Now I want this back to be tag shaped. So I'll cut that and then use the cutoff bit to be a sort of a template so that they match. Good job. Got the garbage on the wrong side of me. Okay. This piece, I'm just going to trim it now. I'm going to cut it to 2 3/4. And then I'm going to put it aside for later. That is going to be a different piece altogether. Okay. There it is. I was just looking for my old calendar here. This calendar is from it's from 2010. And somehow it ended up at my son's apartment. So he brought it to me. He says, I don't know why I have this. So we'll just do all the edges here. So those extra layers of even very thin papers have really, made this into a substantial card. So I did talk to Nana this morning. Where are you? She says. I said, I'm sitting at home on my bed talking to you. Why? So I told her I'm trying to get in there to see her, but it's a challenge because you need to follow so many COVID-19 rules. But she had fair warning that I was coming. Yes, yes, dear, she says. They're very, very careful about that. So... she is aware. All right. Now, we're going to decorate the front. So we know this is 5 inches by 3 and, what did we say? 3 3/8, more or less. Okay. So I want to make it, I want to take 3/4 of an inch off each measurement. So 4 1/4 long by 2 1/8, I think. So I will take the next page and I want to cut a piece that is 4 1/4 inches long by 2 1/8 wide. So that's 4. So that's 4 1/4. But I want to make sure I get as much of the image as possible. I'll go this way a little bit. Okay. Not 2 1/8. That can't be right. Maybe it's right. No, 2 5/8. Ignore that. 2 5/8. Holy moly. Math. Not my strong suit. Ink that up. Okay. I will just center this on the front. Okay, so I will be doing some stitching. I'm going to zigzag around this part, the picture, and I'm just going to do a border around the tag area. So I'll pause you for that. Okay. So I just want to show you, I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick that up. So depending on which side you sew from, so on this page I sewed from the inside, it pushes a little bit of the core of the paper out, so it has these little white holes. here I went from the front, but on the back, there's these little white holes. I don't like the little white holes. If the piece was being glued down, the back wouldn't bother me at all. But I haven't decided whether I'm going to glue it back down or whether this is something that's going to be tucked in a pocket. So I'm just going over the little white holes with my ink just to make them a little less noticeable. And I'll do the same on the back. So another thing I might want to do is put another layer of paper on the back to make that text recede even more, but I'm not doing that. So, but if that's something that you want to do, now is the time to do it. So just, you know, tear out a piece of paper, more or less the same shape, maybe a, you know, 1/8 of an inch inside the sewing line. Okay, now I want to make a tab for the tag, and I'm going to use my tab punch. If you don't have a tab punch like this, there's other tab punches out there. There's die cuts. There's, dies that you can use to cut tabs. You can hand cut one. You can use a circle, cut a circle and fold it in half. I want to make sure that I get lots of color on my tab, so that's why I've trimmed that. Need to trim a little more, Nancy. We are also going to be using this part of the page, so don't get rid of that. Okay. And I never managed to get these folded in half, so I'm just going to put this on my scoreboard. There we go. Okay. Just using a little art glitter glue. Any glue will do, though. And you will note that I did the sewing first. I didn't want to sew through my tab. More or less center, I guess. Okay. I will be tearing out the words. So this is the fruit of the dog rose. Keep blackberry because we're going to need that. Just going to use a little bit of this gauzy kind of stuff that I don't even know what kind of fabric it is. It's just one of those things I found one day and I liked it a lot. and it's so thin. So it's perfect for this kind of job. So I'm just going to sort of give it a pull so that it's more, it's not square, it's sort of bias. And I'm going to glue it right there. I'll hold it for a second. Now I could have used Fabri-Tac, but I find that the Fabri-Tac shows through. And because this piece isn't going to be completely covered by the label, but I am using Fabri-Tac for the label, go figure. I just didn't want any shiny bits coming up. There we go. So here we have our little booklet. And as I said, this could be tucked into a pocket. This could be glued down and then used as a tuck spot, but it also flips open so to do journaling. I think it's really simple, but still very, very effective, and includes lots and lots of journaling space, but also makes really good use of the Edith Holden image itself. So thank you so much for watching this. Come back soon because we're going to follow up with the next project using this piece and this piece and our little label. All right, you take care. We'll talk soon.